Netflix has spent the last decade trying to be everything at once. What started as a streaming platform has expanded into theatrical releases, gaming, and even live sports partnerships. But one area where the results have been wildly inconsistent is animation. For every standout success, there are multiple projects that quietly disappear. Unfortunately, Swapped falls into the latter category, and not just as a forgettable entry, but as one of the platform's weakest animated efforts to date. The film comes from director Nathan Greno and follows Ollie, a curious creature from a woodland species called the puku. Unlike the rest of his cautious tribe, Ollie is fascinated by the world beyond his home. That curiosity leads him to interact with another species, the Javan, a group of birds, and accidentally teach them how to access the puku's only food source. The result is devastating. His community begins to starve, and Ollie is blamed and cast aside by his own family. Things take a strange turn when Ollie discovers a glowing pod that transforms him into a Javan, giving him the ability to communicate with other animals. Along the way, he meets Ivy, a confident but somewhat self-centered Javan, who soon undergoes the same transformation in reverse. With both of them stuck in unfamiliar bodies, they set off on a journey to find more of these pods in hopes of turning back into themselves. It's a setup that clearly aims to explore themes like empathy, identity, and prejudice between different groups. On paper, that premise has real potential. A body swap story is a natural way to explore understanding across divides. But the film struggles to do anything meaningful with it. The writing never quite finds its footing, and the concept ends up feeling underdeveloped rather than insightful. Visually, though, the movie is undeniably impressive. The animation is easily its strongest aspect. The environments are rich and detailed, with sweeping landscapes that sometimes resemble real nature footage. Water effects, lighting, and creature designs are all handled with care, and certain moments genuinely stand out for their visual beauty. There's clear effort and talent behind the animation, and it shows. But strong visuals can only carry a film so far, and here they were weighed down by a script that lacks energy and cohesion. The opening stretch is especially rough. There is very little dialogue, and what replaces it is heavy exposition that feels oddly artificial. It takes far too long for the story to establish emotional stakes or give the characters distinct personalities. By the time things start moving, it's already difficult to feel invested. Even when dialogue picks up, it doesn't quite land. Conversations often feel awkward, with unnatural pauses and delayed reactions that disrupt the rhythm. Instead of pulling you into the story, these moments make it harder to stay engaged. The pacing overall feels uneven, and the narrative jumps from one event to another without giving scenes enough time to breathe. One of the biggest issues is how rushed everything feels. Despite a runtime of over 100 minutes, key story developments don't feel earned. Ollie's isolation from his family, which should be emotionally impactful, comes across as abrupt. The central journey, searching for more transformation pods, ends up feeling repetitive rather than meaningful, with each stop along the way adding little to character growth. By the time the film reaches its climax, things don't improve. There is a late twist involving the true villain that comes out of nowhere. Instead of being surprising in a satisfying way, it just highlights how little groundwork was laid throughout the story. On top of that, the rules of the film's magical elements seem to shift whenever convenient, making the resolution feel forced rather than organic. The voice cast does what it can with the material. The performances bring some charm and personality, even if the script does fully support them. There are glimpses of what the characters could have been with stronger writing, but those moments are fleeting. In the end, Swapped is a frustrating experience. It has a visually stunning world and a concept that could have led to something thoughtful and engaging. Instead, it delivers a story that feels hollow, uneven, and ultimately forgettable. The animation might keep younger viewers entertained on a surface level, but there's very little beneath that to hold on to. It's the kind of film that looks good in clips, but struggles to justify its full runtime.